So just start. What does it mean to just start? Well, it means to find the motivation to take action on any task. To just start. So what does this mean? Well, starting a task can be one of the hardest things that you are going to do in relation to that task. Because what happens? Well, when you think about doing a task, especially a large task, it kind of looks like this right here. Looks like a mountain, and you start seeing this mountain of a task that you have to do because you start thinking all the tools that you have to get in place, all the time that it's going to take, all the steps that it's going to require to get over that mountain, get on the other side to do that task, and all those things just make that task look overwhelming to your brain. And your brain sees nothing but resistance. It doesn't want to do it when it's overwhelmed like that. So what happens is that resistance to doing, because that task seems so big and so overwhelming, is that you procrastinate. You put it off and you say, wow, I can't climb that mountain today. There is just no way I'm going to climb that mountain today. And so you think, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'll have the energy tomorrow to climb that mountain. And then tomorrow comes, and guess what? That mountain, it snowed overnight, and so the mountain's a little bit higher than it was before, so to speak, because it just seems even more daunting and more complex than it did the other day. And so you keep putting it off, and putting it off. And obviously, that's not something that is conducive to getting things done. So how do you do this? How do you fix this? What's the cure? The cure is more simple than you can imagine. And it's basically to do the smallest thing that you possibly can do in order to get that task started, to get going with that task. Just the smallest thing to start. What does that mean? Well, let's look at a couple examples here that are on the sheet here. So the first example is, let's say you want to write a blog post. Maybe you're a blogger and you want to write a blog post, or you write a book, or write an article, whatever it may be. What's the smallest thing that you can do to get started doing that? Because initially you're going to think, well, I've got to come up with a title, I've got to figure out what kind of picture I want to include, how long the article is going to be, the bullet points, all these things. That turns it into a mountain. Okay, so we want to avoid looking at it as a mountain. What's the smallest thing that you can do to start writing something? And what I found is to just simply get out the tool that you're going to use to write, to blog, or whatever it may be, and just start tapping on your keyboard and just start writing a bunch of nonsense. It may not seem like it's a big deal, but that's the smallest thing you can do to start on that task. And we're going to talk in a minute about what effect that has. So you just get it out and just start typing nonsense. It may not make any sense whatsoever, but you just start typing. That's what you do to start writing a blog post or any kind of writing project. If you need to pay the bills and you see a big stack and you're just thinking, okay, that's a mountain I don't want to climb right now. What do? What's the smallest thing you can do? The smallest thing you can do is get one of the bills out, open it up, look at it, and maybe even pay it. Just that one bill. Just think about that one bill. Not the mountain, but just the step. Okay? And that's the smallest thing you can do. If you need to clean your garage, you look at your garage and it looks like a mountain of garbage, as most people's garages do, then what's the smallest thing that you can do? Well, if you're going to be throwing away a lot of things or giving away, then you find one thing that you can throw away or give away and put it in the trash or in a box that represents the giveaway box. Whatever it may be, just focus on doing one thing. Throwing it away, giving it away. Or if you need to call several people, don't think about all the people that you're going to have to call, all the things you're going to have to say. That's the mountain. You want to avoid the mountain. You want to do the smallest thing. Just punch in the number of the first person and push the call button. Just the first person. Get that small action going. And when it comes to choosing a small action that you want to do to get you kick-started or jump-started at a task, you want to focus in on picking an action that is small, simple, and similar to what you're going to do. And what that means is, if you're trying to kickstart or jumpstart writing, then you want to type something in your keyboard, because that's the mindset and the mode that you're going to be in when you actually start writing more. But you want to be in that mode by typing a few little things. It's not going to help you to kickstart writing if you get out a bill and look at it. That's not this kind of small thing that you want to do. You want to do something that's similar to the task that you're going to do for an extended period of time. Okay, so find simple and similar ways to start a task in small ways that will lead you to doing it in a bigger way. Now, why does this work? There are two reasons why starting small works. And the first one may be obvious, but it's easy for your brain to believe that doing something small is possible. So when you sit down and you think about that mountain and you think about all the things you have to do to get over it, that seems overwhelming. But your brain can believe that you can take one small step. And so you do it. It's doable. It's believable. Your brain will buy into that and will help you to do that one action. So the next reason why this works is a follow-up to that, is that once you've started, once you've taken that one step, it's easier to continue. You have momentum on your side. And so your brain figures, you know what, I'm already into this one step, I might as well take 2 steps, and 3 steps, and 4 steps, and 8 steps, and 16 steps until you keep going. So it's doable, your brain believes it, and then once you start it, you have momentum. Those are the 2 reasons why just starting and doing something small works. So your challenge is to think of 3 tasks that you've been putting off, whatever those 3 tasks may be. Think of 3 important tasks that you've been putting off, and then identify the smallest thing that you can do to start those tasks. What's the smallest, ridiculously smallest thing that you can do to start those tasks? And then do those small things and get those tasks done. Just start.